Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Knight of Cups, this is really a passion, right? This is somebody who is trying to have this reciprocating experience of life. You know, this card's all about the giving and receiving of love and affection. Okay, really the first question is, how often do we tell people we love them? I think that you've been focusing more on your expression of love, right? Trying to be a positive influence. But I think that you're a very passionate person. I think you feel like your heart is just alive for something. Yeah, and this could be your path. It could be your art, your creativity. It could be your marriage or your partnership or your relationship. This could be your passion for your family, this love that you have for really the willingness to do anything for something or someone. Yeah. So I find that you're really in this energy right now. It's really a high vibration, and I want to see what's going on here. So we need some more cards. Find out what this passion is for. There's maybe a passion for truth. We have an Ace of Swords. We have the Fool. We have a Four of Swords, an Eight of Swords, and Prince of Pentacles, the Builder. You are passionate. You are passionate about building something. Okay, are you building a relationship? Are you building knowledge? You're building a life? You're building a family, a career? I think all of these things. You're doing so with clarity. I don't think you've always had clarity. I think actually you've kind of been through a period of a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion lately. Okay? But clarity is coming for you right now, and you're going to be tasked with building the future. Okay? And this is really nice. A passion, and you're doing something with that. Maybe this is a passion you're following, and you're going to build a business around it, or you're building a charity, a foundation. Maybe a YouTube channel, I'm not sure what you're building, but let's lay out the path of the serpent as well. Here we have a Three of Cups, 10 of Wands, of course we do. We have a Seven of Pentacles, yeah. And we have a Knight of Swords. A lot of swords energy here. Is there a Libra person close to you in your life? I feel like there is some Libra energy that's close to you, or a friend, maybe family member, or maybe you have a strong Libra placement in your chart. But Libra energy is something that's very closely tied to you right now. Okay, let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here and put Mr. Ed, our little horse, right on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. Okay? If you have a prediction for that card, please put your prediction, guess, hunch down in the comments below. Okay. Let's take a look around the room. The interesting thing that I'm seeing is that our only major arcana card is the Fool. Okay, so the Fool really this is kind of like, this is the big spiritual evolution in your life right now. I think that, there's always been this playfulness in you. I think that you have a great sense of humor, right? Like you're always making people laugh. I think that you want to get back to this a little bit. I think that with the rest of our air energy, it's kind of like I just want to get back to enjoying life, to like having fun, to be on my adventure. But you have this feeling like you want to be the fool again. You know, the fool is someone who has no cares or worries, no concerns, no direction, no path, no purpose in life, wandering. You know, wherever I lay my head is home, you know, the rover, the wanderer, right? Nomad, vagabond, that sort of thing. Shout out to Metallica, I guess. You know, we all go through a period of time in our life where we have no direction. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, you know? And sometimes our fool gets into a routine, just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, so I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, right? But this is, in some ways, a freedom from responsibility. And it's always in us. There's always like this child in us that just wants to play. I want every day to just be like summer vacation, you know? No responsibilities, no worries, no obligations, nothing on my shoulders. I'm light as a feather, and I'm just blowing around in the wind doing whatever I want to do, you know? And this to me is it's something that we can all tap into. And I think we need to every once in a while, just to let go, right? Let go of everything, just have fun, just play, feel free, even if for 5 minutes, you know. 5 minutes to feel like there's no obligation, there's nothing on my shoulders, I have zero responsibilities. Spirit's saying that you need that, okay? That you need to find a way to have that experience, if even just for a brief moment. Is there anything that you're doing right now that makes you forget about all your worries? You know, what do you have in your life that makes you forget about everything else? Okay. Is it this passion? Is it this creative passion that you have right now? This could be a passion toward your family. This could be an experience, love and affection, right? This could be for family, friends. This could be for your career. This could be your art. Maybe this is the feeling you get when you're painting. Maybe this is when you're playing music, right? What do you have this passion for? For me, it's that feeling I get when I'm here doing these readings. I forget about everything else, you know? That's why they sometimes go on for an hour. Or when I'm playing the drums. Yeah, that's the other time. I can play drums all day and I could forget to eat. I'd be, oh wow, it's bedtime already. I had no idea, right? And so I feel like this is something that you need in your life too. You need to be focused on something, to have that passion in your life that's going to allow you to forget about every other worry that you got. It takes you out of your head, right? So we've got our major arcana, and I think that, you know, the Fool is that childlike, you know, zero responsibility kind of feeling, but you give the Fool an Ace of Swords, and it becomes a knight. It becomes a warrior. It becomes a knight of the Holy Grail, right? So you give the Fool a purpose, you know, and with this passion and this clarity here about that passion. And I think that you can have the Fool, this carefree, playful, zero responsibility, aimless, wandering kind of energy, but with focus and purpose and a direction, you know? So you're giving the Fool, Excalibur, your truth, and clarity, turning the Fool into a knight. You know, so we're coming back around to that childlike energy of wonder, of transcendence, of this lightness, but we're coming back around now with purpose, with a feeling of like, okay, I know what I need to do in life. I know what direction to take that's going to not only give me this feeling of freedom and playfulness and make me happy and take me outside of my head, but that also is going to be built into something extraordinary. So it's something like, you know, and I can use the example of playing the drums, right? It's something that I could just go and sit down and just do for hours and hours and hours on end, right? For one thing, the Ace of Swords is you knowing what that thing is, having clarity. Okay, for me it'd be doing tarot readings, or okay, playing the drums, right? And then the idea here with the Prince of Pentacles is that you're building it into something. You're not just sitting down and just randomly playing the drums and just feeling kind of blissed out and carefree for a few hours and that's it. No, you're sitting down and you're saying, okay, I want to get better. I'm going to get some books. I want to start reading music. I want to develop certain techniques. I got to get my right hand up to par, right? I'm a lefty. I got to get I play drums a very weird way. I play on a right-handed kit, but I play left-handed, open-handed. But my feet are right foot led. Okay, so I'm like left-handed, but I'm right-footed. Anyway, I know that probably doesn't matter to 99% of you, but any of you drummers out there, you know what I'm talking about. But this is the kind of building it into something. So the Fool now has like a purpose behind it. It's like, all right, I'm going to do this thing that I love, and I want to get good at it. I want to learn about it. I want to develop the technique so I can do it more, so I can get better at doing it, so I can have more fun doing it, right? So there's kind of a discipline that's here, right? And even with the tarot readings, it was the same thing. I've been reading tarot since I was literally 21 years old. So it's a long time anyway. There was a time in my life, 3 years ago, in fact, where I decided that I was going to take it seriously, and I was going to start a YouTube channel, and I was going to put a lot of time and effort into it, and I was going to devote myself to it, and I was going to get good at it, and I was going to figure out all these other peripheral things like cameras and lighting and microphones and wires and then YouTube and all the tech stuff that has to go with that, and keywords and all that jazz, and so you're building a structure around it that's going to allow you to keep doing it more and more and more. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to turn it into a YouTube channel, although I hope you do. We need more good YouTube channels here, and maybe it's going to become a business. Maybe you're a kind of natural healer, and you say, well, I love healing people. I love working with energy. I love teaching people how to heal, right? Maybe you're going to find a way to do that more, okay? It's almost like just taking it from some hobby, something that I like to do as an escape, to something that I'm really going to take seriously. Now, I never turned drums into a money-making job. I never got paid to do it. But I would network. I'd find other musicians, and I would get other people together at my little apartment. My neighbors hated me. And we'd play music together, right? We covered a lot of Alice in Chains songs, actually, and some other stuff. Anyway, but we would, and then I would play with some other musicians, and it would be a good time. I built it into something where I was confident enough that I could do it with other people, So it's not just something that you're sort of practicing by yourself and you're enjoying it as an escape. Now you kind of have a plan. Now it's kind of like, okay, I want to do it with other people. I think that's kind of like, that's a big step here. And I don't know who the Libra energy is in your life, but it might be significant for you. Anyway, we've got our major arcana, don't we? We've got fire, we've got water, we've got air, and air. We've got our 2 earth cards. You really have the perfect blend here. The Ace of Swords, like I said, is the certainty about what this passion is and how you can see yourself moving forward and what you're going to build with it. Whether you're just going to build a network of people, you're going to find a meetup group, or you're going to find, you're going to find some people in your area locally that you can do it with, or you're going to build up something with it. Okay. It doesn't mean that you necessarily are going to do it for money, but that could be part of it for sure. Okay. And I kind of think that it is, because of the earth energy, because there is a lot of effort being put into this. I feel like it's something that is, maybe it's a side hustle, maybe it's a passion that you have, and you say, well, maybe I can just earn a few dollars doing it so that I can keep doing it. Maybe it's going to become your main gig. There's no limit to how big it can grow. Okay, and it's up to you. The 4 of Swords in the background, I think this was like past energy where you just weren't really sure what you wanted to do. And things were kind of routine. This is kind of like I just resigned myself to this routine life. It's almost as if I'd rather not be stressed out. Yeah, I got this fool inside of me that just wishes I could have an endless summer, But rather than having the stress, I'm just going to resign myself to the life that I'm living, and that's going to be fine. But see, what you're doing with the ace is you're creating a 5 of swords, right? You're creating stress. You're saying, no, you know what? I'm not satisfied with a 4 of swords. I'm not just going to try to convince myself that, hey, this is the way life's supposed to be. I'm an adult now. At least I think most of us are. I'm an adult now. I need to put childish things away. I don't have time to play the drums. That's not something, what's the point? No, I just need to stick to my routine. I got my schedule. I'm going to clock in, do my work, and, And we try to convince ourselves that that is life. Because we don't, in other words, if we have this yearning, if we have this passion and we recognize it, it causes some internal disorder. It causes a conflict inside of us. It causes a stress, 5 of swords. It's stressed out when I'm trying to just live my normal, basic life, but my heart is like yearning for something else. It's like I can't rest. I can't relax. So we either try to ignore what's going on in the middle here. We try to ignore all this and just stay back here and say, I'm going to just convince myself that this is all I need. Right? Shout out to Dirty Heads, too. I don't know if anybody listens to Dirty Heads anymore. This is not going to suffice, right? Because as much as we may try to just stay in this mode of thinking, or really of like not thinking, not allowing ourselves to think of the thing that we really want to do. It's like if I spent my entire life and any time I would think of the drums, or I'd have this yearning, this fool in me that wants to do something and escape all that, I'd say, no, back to work. Focus on what I got to do. Focus on the routine. It's kind of like, we're trying to convince ourselves that this fool and this passion and this, whatever this is for you, this creativity, this love is not here. This yearning, this desire, this fool, this child that's in you that just wants to have the endless summer, we try to pretend it's not there. Because to think about it and acknowledge it would create some kind of discord inside of us. A little internal stress, But stress is what leads to change. You think you're stressing your muscles. Well, your muscles are going to grow. You're stressing your mind. You're trying to do some hard math problems. Guess what? You're going to get better at math. So stress is good. A little bit. Not a lot. Too much stress, bad. But a little bit of stress is good because it promotes growth. It sort of sparks our adaptive human nature we're going to rise to the challenge in order to alleviate that stress. So you're finding a way to incorporate this yearning passion, this burning desire in you into your life, okay? But up top we have an 8 of swords. 8 of swords is too much thinking. And really it's too much stress. Okay? Thinking begets thinking, begets thinking, begets thinking. Thoughts create thoughts, create thoughts, create thoughts. We go to 2, we go 4, we go 8, we go 16 and 32 and 64. They multiply, right? And then we're stuck. Then we can't go back to what we were doing before, nor can we move forward in any direction. We're tied up in a tangle of wires. Okay? And the only way to get out of this is to take that Ace of Swords and slice right through all the thoughts and say, you know what? I just got to do it. I'm just going to find a way to make it a part of my life. And maybe it's just like, I'm going to get the cheapest drum set I can, and I'm just going to play 5 minutes on Sundays. Once a week, 5 minutes, I'm going to play the drums. At least it's something. We start somewhere, and it's going to build. It's going to grow. Because you're going to love it. You're going to want it more and more and more. And when you experience a little bit of it, you get a little taste, it's going to say, I want to build it into something larger. I want to keep going. A little spark, a little ember is going to turn into a raging creative fire. Okay? And you're going to have to continue to build the life that's going to support that. And then your passion becomes your number one focus, and the money that you make and all these other things kind of are supporting that. In a way, I mean, it's about priorities, and we all have to do what we have to do, of course. But this is you trying to build up your life in a way that's going to allow this creative expression and this freedom. And the Fool really is perfectly escaping the 8 of Swords. The fool is pure air, cannot be contained by thoughts. It is beyond thought. It doesn't understand thought. It's really, the fool is the fool, right? The empty head, the windbag, just the balloon, right? Thoughts can't contain the fool because it doesn't, logic isn't going to win on the fool, because why? It's a fool, right? I mean, and we say that tongue-in-cheek, is kind of facetious, but it's true. This playful, and like, I don't know, it's like we're talking about this childlike energy. And with that childlike energy, there's no reasoning with a child. The child wants what it wants, doesn't understand, well, look, we have to go to school today. We can't just go to the beach. You know, it's a school day. We're on a schedule, you know. A child does not care, right? And so this becomes that kind of innocence of that childlike energy that just, there's no convincing myself that I can't have it. I got to find a way to get it. Okay, and that's what we're building here with the Prince of Pentacles. Okay. Now there's a connection with lamps for you. Spirit is showing me a room full of lamps. I don't know if they're like the Tiffany lamps. Kind of feeling it as like one of those like library lamps, you know, with the green shade and the little chain. I don't know what the connection is with lamps for you, but maybe you're a collector or you're just a fan. I don't know. Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about this. And as we do, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Okay. 3 of Cups is your general energy. This is abundance, right? This is an overwhelming feeling inside of you that you've got something to offer. This is like just a storehouse of creative energy, of a storehouse of love, a storehouse of ideas, right? Of imagination, of appreciation, of gratitude, of love. It's all in there. And I think the Knight of Cups is the one expressing all of this. Okay? So it's expressing your creativity. It's doing the thing that makes you feel good. You know, when you're doing your passion, when I'm playing drums, it's euphoria. It is a euphoric feeling. My muscles are moving. My heart is kind of beating in time with the music that I'm creating or playing along to or whatever. You know the feeling. Right? You know the feeling when you're expressing yourself in that way, when you're doing the thing that you love to do. You know how that feels. This card's also about the gratitude, that we feel grateful even for the 5 minutes. I feel grateful and appreciative that my life is progressing in a way that will support me. I get 5 minutes to play the drums once a week on Sundays. You know, we're grateful for that. Grateful that the rest of my life has supported me doing that thing. Maybe there are people in your life that are saying, yeah, you know what, you want some time to do your art or you follow your passion. I'll watch the kids. You do it. Okay? Or, you know, you're setting your life up in such a way. We're thankful for the job that we have, that pays the bills, that gives me the 5 minutes of free time on Sundays so that I can do the thing, you know. And then, of course, I feel like this thing is going to grow and take more and more of your time, effort, energy, and or money. And that's the 10 of Wands in the environment. You're going to want to put more and more effort into it. Now, for some reason, Spirit's telling me that July is a very important month for you. Maybe that is the endless summer, right? Those sort of, you know, the middle of summer kind of July energy. I don't know if you have an important thing coming in July or if there is my birthday's in July, so maybe that's it. I feel like there's something significant for you in July, okay? The 10 of Wands is, of course, an extreme amount of energy. It's kind of saying like, you would do this all day, every day if you could. It's something that you could put all of your vital energy, your physical and spiritual and emotional and intellectual energy into it. And all of your money, all of your time, everything. You would put everything into this and you wouldn't even really realize it. You know, we're capable of getting so carried away by it. Yeah. And so, I think you're someone who maybe is prone to excess or prone to extremes. You think, well, if I can do it a little bit, I want to do it a lot. More is better here, right? And I think in this case, yeah, it is. But of course, we want to grow in proportion to our capabilities. We don't want to grow too fast. It's not like I can suddenly quit my jobs, quit my family, quit my friends, and quit eating, quit sleeping, and just play drums 24/7, right? That would be a little extreme, don't you think? It sounds nice. It sounds nice to the fool. But we got to be a little bit reasonable, you know? And I think we've had this subject pop up in a lot of your readings, that you are sort of prone to pedal to the metal. If going slow is working, going faster is going to work better, right? So we've always had this message for you, Sagittarius, that says just slow down a little bit. Make sure that you don't go to any excess where you're going to wear yourself out. This might be too much too soon, and then we just break down, we burn out, we say, I don't want to play drums anymore, ever. I hate it, you know? So we want to just sort of gradually grow and ease into it and try to do it more and more and more and find the balance. I mean, that's the Libra energy that I'm feeling. We're finding a balance between doing this thing that we have passion for and then also eating, sleeping, taking care of ourselves, making money, being with our family, having other hobbies, self-care and being of service and our volunteering and charity and, all these other things that you need to do in life. This one thing can't be everything, but it could be a few of those. Maybe this is the passion. Maybe eventually it's going to make money. Maybe this is the passion, but it's also something that is going to help other people. So you're being of service, right? Maybe this is something that you're doing with your family. So this is it's satisfying a couple of those areas. But I think it is something that's going to grow into a lot more than just a passion hobby or a passion project. Okay. Now, the part we don't like, of course, is the Seven of Pentacles. We don't like when we run into a roadblock. If you're playing drums, eventually you're gonna get a little frustrated when you reach a piece of music that you can't quite play, or there's certain rudiments that your hands just won't do it right, And so we realize that it is through pushing ourselves past our capabilities that we're going to actually grow. How do we build something? Well, you don't just snap your fingers and there it is. You got to put in the work. You got to put the boards together and nail the barn doors on there, And so there's struggle, and especially if you've never built this before. I don't know how to do it, right? You ever get one of those things like from Amazon or from IKEA or something, you got to put it together? I hate that. I've done it I've built so many bookshelves in my life that I don't want to build another one. Because you get all these parts, you get these instructions that really, the print is so small that I can barely read it anymore. And I don't know if my mind sometimes is just too cluttered with other things, but I have to sit there and stare at the directions and be like, it wants me to do what with what? And so we're running into problems, and sometimes I'll put one of the shelves upside down and I got to take the whole thing apart and do it again. And it's frustrating. All I want is a bookshelf to put my books, But we run into issues, and we can't just get mad and throw the screwdriver down and throw all the wood outside the window. We just have to accept our frustration, breathe through it, and keep at it. Okay, I got to take the bookshelf apart. I've got to read the instructions again. Then I got to put it back together again. Hopefully this time the correct way. I have a lot of bookshelves where the top shelf is upside down and it's just the raw exposed wood. It doesn't have the veneer on it. It's really terrible. But that's the frustration. But every time we do that, we're growing a little bit. We're learning something. Okay, so whatever this is for you, this is finding the problem, figuring out, how to grow. If it's easy, we're not growing, right? It's only through discovering where the challenging things are and then applying ourselves to those challenges that this thing is going to get built and it's going to grow. Like the YouTube channel stuff, right? Reading the tarot cards was easy. Sure, yeah, I know how to do that. How to talk to people, that's something I had to learn how to do. How to present the information, how to do the cameras and the lights and stuff, that was challenging. I had to learn how to do that. There was an issue with transferring the files from my switcher over to the computer, and it's like I had to learn how to do all that stuff, and it wasn't the fun part. This is the fun part, okay? So, we go through those, and we learn, and we grow, and it makes it a little bit easier. Now it's easy. And so I'm not looking for the next challenge. What I want to do is actually get a third camera, which is I'm gonna have to learn I'm gonna have to figure that problem out, and then how to switch between the cameras. I do everything in real time. Okay, I'm switching cameras over here. I got a button that I hit, and that's it. Now I'm gonna have another button if I want to have a third camera. So we're going through all of these other little technical challenges so that we can continue to grow. This is also the card in this position of saying, what if I try to build this thing? What if I want to do it, but I'm not good at it? Well, of course, you spend 5 minutes every Sunday playing the drums, you're not going to get good very quick. It's not going to be a fast process. Okay, and maybe that's all it is. If that's the case, don't worry about how good you are. Don't worry about making progress. Just go 5 minutes once a week and have fun. Just let yourself be free, right? Just allow yourself that escape, and then go back to what you were doing before. And that's really that's an okay way to live, right? We have our life; it's perfect the way it is. I'm just going to do a little bit of something I like to do, once a week or something, or maybe once a day. I'll have 5 minutes that I can do something that feels good and free and takes me out of my worries, gives me a little sense of this kind of internal freedom, and then right back to it. But I feel like that's not enough for you. As the one who's prone to extremes, right? You want more. You say if a little bit feels good and is freeing and really has that kind of euphoria, well, I want to do it more. I want to do it more and more often, right? So we're finding a way to do it more and more often, which means that, okay, I've got to rearrange my life a little bit. I've got to make some important decisions. And we've got this Libra energy. This is the Knight of Swords. This is the real-time discernment, saying, okay, if I want to have more of this passion of mine, this hobby, and I want to grow it into something, well then, how do I find the time? How do I find the space? If I'm doing more of this, it means I'm doing less of something else. Well, what do I need to eliminate in my life in order to make more room for this? Have I been wasting time doing idle stuff? Well, maybe I stop doing that. I have more time to play the drums, And for me, it was something a little bit more serious than that. Using my own example, there was a time where I said, look, I want to devote more time to doing these tarot readings on YouTube. So something else had to be sacrificed from my life. And my wife and I, about, I think it was like almost, well, it was about a year and a half ago, we together made the decision that I would quit my day job. And that was a really big risk. But that was something, that was a higher order choice. That was some higher order discernment that says more time for the YouTube channel doing the tarot readings is the best option, rather than staying in my Four of Swords job that was barely paying the bills. It was part-time. It was not going to be anything other than what it was. There was no growth there, right? It was just, it was fine. I'm not a complainer. But we made the choice. It was a very serious decision, and it was not one that we made lightly. And it had to appear, it had to convince us that it was the best choice for the family, for the life, right? To devote more time to this and less time to my job, my day job. And, well, so far it's been working out, knock on wood. And it was the best decision, one of the best decisions, other than marrying my wife and being a father, the best decision that we've ever made. Yeah. So you have this ability to have this higher discernment that says, okay, look, I want to do more of this. What do I need to sacrifice in order to do more of this? And is that a good decision? So again, you don't have to quit your job so that you can spend more time playing the drums, but maybe playing drums, you can make it earn some money. Then maybe you don't have to work as much. Maybe there can be some sort of a balance struck. You want to do more of this, guess what? You're going to have less of something else. There's a balance that it's going to need to be struck. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. I want more water energy. I want just bliss. I want a 10 of cups here, right? I want to see that all of your effort, all of this energy putting into this thing is going to really pay off. It's really going to be satisfying to you. It's going to be everything that you wanted it to be. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Another 10 of Wands. Well, I can see that you want to put as much time, effort, energy, and or money into this new thing as possible. And I think that's your decision. And I think that you're saying, look, you know what? It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be maybe some struggle, maybe some hardship. It's going to be a lot of it's going to be rough at first. But you believe that you putting your effort into building this thing is going to be worth it. It's going to be the best choice for you. It's going to turn into a really big win. It's going to turn into something that's going to sustain your life financially, physically, right? It's going to be good for your life. And yes, you're going to have to deal with the struggles. And so that means that if you commit to this and you go all in, if you go 200% in on this, even when it gets tough, you can't quit. Why? Well, because now you're relying on this to pay the bills. Right? So it almost puts some a binding on you. You know what I mean? It attaches you to this thing. It sort of guarantees your commitment and your discipline. It's kind of like, the tarot channel saying, well, now even when I'm tired, I can't quit. I can't give up on this. I can't not do it. Because this is the business. This is how we earn money, right? This is what's kind of putting food on the table for me and my family. And so it's kind of like it's by removing the safety net, right? Sometimes it forces us to grow and to do better and to have the commitment, because now I can't just say, well, I don't want to go to work today. I'm just going to I have a sick day. There's no sick time in things like this, But I'm not saying you need to quit your job, but what I'm saying is that you have this type of commitment. You have this kind of desire. You want to go all in on this. And I think that you're going to, do it gradually. Right? Don't be impulsive. Build it up and make a very wise and informed decision. Use your higher wisdom and discernment. This does not have to go from 0 to 100 in a snap of a finger. Gradually build this up until it is everything that you want it to be. Okay. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching reading. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.